Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second episode of my Michael Schumacher Road to F1 career. So let's jump back in. We're going to the second round at Azerbaijan, Baku. I must admit, I'm not looking forward to this one. It's not my favourite track to race at, definitely not. So we'll have to see how this goes. In fact, I've got to do 2 races here. Also doesn't make me very happy. Right, we're in practice. So first of all, car setup. Let's go for a slightly increased setup.
Okay, we haven't yet run any of our standard programs over the course of practice. It'll be a boost to car development if we can log that data, so we should do our best to do so before the end of the session.
I'm trying to remember, Baku has more right hand corners, doesn't it? Can't remember. Right, let's go out and do. And we're heading into the qualifying session here at Baku. Just done the practice session. I did 3 of the practice programs. I did track acclimatization, race strategy, and the qualifying program. I didn't bother doing tyre management or fuel saving. What we have to now do is go out and do qualifying, and the track is clear. We have got the super soft tyres available, which is nice. And then we've got the 15-lap endurance race. Right. Let's go out and do a flying lap. I think I'm probably going to end up in traffic, because I just saw a car going out ahead of me, which is not great. But it looks like we may get some rain, so let's try and set a fast time early. Of a dry track in case the rain does decide to come sprinkling down on me. There we go. That was alright, that was good. Something that is a bit weird, I've noticed, there was a patch. A patch was released for the game yesterday, which fixed a couple of issues that people have reported since release. However, I'm experiencing a new issue now in the game. I noticed it in practice, and I'm still noticing it now here in qualifying. When I went out and did my track acclimatization program in qualifying, everything felt fine. The steering wheel, the wheel force feedback and everything felt really fine. Did the practice program, came back into the pits. Chose the qualifying program, went out, and all of a sudden my wheel, the force feedback and everything is now a heck of a lot stronger, a lot heavier. And it was all through practice. It's still the same now. In qualifying, the wheel feels so much heavier than it did during the first practice program, which is why, I'm going to be brutally honest, I don't have a lot of confidence on this circuit, because the wheel is far too heavy for me in these tight, twisty corners,
Baku never fails to disappoint fans of Formula 2, so hold on tight, the cars are set on the grid, and any moment we'll be starting today's race. Welcome to Azerbaijan. This is not your usual racing circuit. It provides one of the most complete tests for the field. Sector 1 sports a set of 90-degree corners around the block, if you like. Sector 2 gets even tighter with the old city walls. Sector 3 just turns 16 to negotiate, and then 2.2 kilometers flat to the floor, full throttle in 6th gear, all the way to the end.
Only 6th gear? Don't we get 8?
Joining me today is a man who is no stranger to going fast, Davide Valsecchi of GP2 2012 fame. Great to have you here today, Davide. Are you enjoying yourself here in the beautiful city of Baku?
Absolutely, Alex. Baku is fantastic, and so this track. Have a check. The architecture, the narrow street. Easy to see why it's one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar. But Alex, street circuits can be unforgiving. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a safety car or two out during today's race.
We are nearly ready for the start of today's race, but in the meantime, let's take a look at the grid. Schumacher lines up on pole position, and it's Mick Schumacher in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid,
Schumacher,
we have
1 and
Correa,
2.
Giotto, Guan Yu Zhou,
Father and son,
and
front
Hubert,
row lockout.
Mazepin, Boschon, Tete Camara, Mahavir Raghunathan, Matsushita, King, Callum-Ilott, and Aitkit, Alesi, Boccolacci, Delatraz, and Nicholas Latifi. Galeo and Tatiana Calderon completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So, race strategy is to do 5 laps on the super soft, ultra soft, mega soft tyre, and then 10 laps on the mediums. I don't know if that's going to be the fastest lap time or not. If I switch strategies, you're looking at an extra 15 seconds in the race for the alternate strategy. Car setup we can't change, so we'll stick with the selected strategy and we'll start the race. Okay, and here we go then, race start. We're ready, lights are on, lights are out, and away we go. Seemed to get a pretty decent start out that first off the line. Got away well, no contacts. Fucking hell, I've already pulled out a huge gap to the cars behind me. This could be a very dull race. Heading to turn 2 and I'm already first by a margin. Providing I'm sensible and don't drive like an idiot, I should just be able to... Whoa! He says don't drive like an idiot and he almost puts it in the wall. Good job the brakes work. I'm going to probably watch a little bit more from this external camera this time of the race, because I want to when I make my pit stop in this race, the team once again decide to change my front wing at the pit stop, and that completely confuses me because as far as I know, I'm out front. There's no cars in front of me. I've not hit anybody. So why would I need my front wing changing? I mean, I don't know if I hit any curbs aggressively in this race. Which would have caused some front wing damage or an element of the front wing to fail. I certainly don't make contact with any cars because there's none in front of me. I don't have to overtake anybody. I started first and I'm still first. I mean, the front wing looks good at this point. The only thing I can think of is maybe at that particular corner on one lap I may have run a little bit wide and just clipped the wall, or the corner down here at the end of this section may have just maybe clipped the wall, maybe, because it's a bit tight, that is. Very easy to understeer and hit that wall if you're carrying too much speed. Because I think it's definitely the right side of the front wing that was damaged when I came into the pits, or when I looked on the MFD in the car. But I don't know where I got the damage from. And then what I'll probably do, because this race probably isn't going to be very eventful as race leader, I might just watch. I think Max Yoshita got driver of the day, and I think he came up from about 14th on the grid to about 5th or 6th, so it might be worth watching him, seeing what kind of overtakes he made in the race. Or we just go straight to the sprint race, which is where I'll be starting 8th, which will probably be maybe more interesting to watch, because obviously I'll have to do some overtaking if I want to win that one. But so far I've been pretty good. I've kept away from all the walls and the barriers. So I don't know where I would have picked up front wing damage. But it's so annoying when you come into the pits and the guys start changing your wing and you didn't even know. Because again, 30-second pit stop, you know, stationary for like 15 seconds, 17 seconds. So annoying. Jeff never told me on the radio I'd got damage at any point during the race. At one point he told me to box, but I ignored him and did two extra laps on these super soft tyres, because I thought performance-wise they were pretty good. They weren't that worn. And I would rather be on the super grippy, super soft tyres than be on the mediums for 2 laps longer than I had to. So the fact I could stretch these tyres out a bit is really nice. I also like the fact that in F2, the tyre compounds that Pirelli give the teams have a much broader performance and durability gap between them. Like for this race, we had super soft, the purple super soft tyres, the yellow mediums, and the white hards. There's quite a gap between the super softs and the mediums. I wish they would do that in real Formula 1. You know, instead of turning up with like 1 compound difference between the soft, medium, and hards, I wish they'd turn up with like, you know, a C3 soft, you know, a C5 or a C6 medium, and then, you know, a C9 or C10 hard, and actually have a bigger gap between the tyres, which would make a bigger performance difference in actual Formula 1 racing, and durability difference. It would spice up the races a bit more. And those drivers that can protect tyres and still get speed out of them would rise a bit to the top. You know, the cream would come to the top, if you like. But yeah, this is just a procession. This race is just a procession for Michael Schumacher at this point. And I still haven't seen any front wing damage. Like I say, these tyres were super grippy. I was more likely to hit the barriers and stuff when I was on the mediums, because I had less stopping power on the medium tyres and obviously less grip. Unless it was just something, just a pure mechanical failure on the car. Sort of the vibrations, normal vibrations, just caused something to fail on the front wing. I didn't necessarily hit anything. It was just one of those things that oscillation. Oh no, there I hit. That's where it was. Okay. Boom. Boom. So I did clip the wall. Didn't feel it. Didn't feel it, but I did clip the wall. Okay. And I'm amazed that Jeff and the team didn't tell me. Would you like a lap on board? Because this is what I'm just starting lap 6 at this point, and I think I did another 2 or 3 laps before I pitted. So in those 2 or 3 laps, why wasn't the team on the radio to me telling me I got front wing damage? They didn't tell me. I didn't notice it. I didn't really feel it in the car. You know? I mean, any sliding or understeering, I just put down to the fact that the tyres were shot. The tyres had gone because I'd gone beyond my my pit stop. I did extra laps. I didn't stop when the team told me to box. I carried on for 2-3 more laps. So yeah, I binned it into that wall there on the right. Never even noticed. Interesting. That wall as well. To be fair, that wall that I've just passed can be quite painful for some people. You can claim some victims. F2 cars can't hit 200 mile an hour down here. You can't. Unless they've got DRS, maybe in practice and qualifying. With the help of DRS, they might be able to gain a bit more speed, but I don't think you can hit 200 in an F2 car around this track. Not like the Formula 1 cars. which do crazy speeds down that long straight. But I'm amazed because I could not drive this track. I could not race this track in Formula 1 2019. When this race came up on the calendar, I would simulate it, I would skip it. Okay. I'm amazed that in F1 2020, not only can I drive this track, but I can do it in an F2 car, which doesn't have the downforce, the grip, and all the fancy bells and whistles and toys that the Formula 1 cars have. F1 2020 is such an improvement over 19. The handling and everything. Much better game so far. I'm able to play the game on a much higher difficulty this year than I have done in previous year's games. And I'm finding I can drive pretty much most of the tracks. Now the true test will be Monaco. Monaco is still a track that I've never been able to do, and I normally skip over it. But I'm going to give it a go here in Formula 2. I probably won't do very well at it, but hey, that's the thing. Right, here we come. Pit stop time. Pit stop for Schumacher. And as I say, this caught me by surprise, the fact that the guy started to take my front wing to pieces again. As I'm in my pit box, and I'm like, why are they changing the front wing? Of course it's bad because the front wheel guys have to help change the wing, which means they're not changing the front tyres at this point. And the rear jackman has to go and put the tyres away, which means he's not he's not able to put the car down. There we go. Let's try and find, who is it, Matsushita. I don't know who the driver, I haven't got the names on, so I can't tell who's who. Nice on board. This guy's close. He'll have DRS probably down the straight. He might be able to force a pass. Interesting to listen to them. They're not flat through those corners like I am. Here he goes. He's left the inside door open, but he's still got the drive. Nice move, nice overtake there. So we've seen a bit of on-track action. Not a lot from the front end of the grid, but at least the boys down the back end of the grid are racing and having fun. about to begin the final lap of the race. Almost very soon, a couple more corners to navigate. Then we'll be on the last lap. It's been a very uneventful race out in front. How I like it, really. I prefer nice quiet races, no stress, no dramas. Let's just try and keep it together though for this one final lap.
This is your final lap of the race.
Cheers, Jeff. I'm just taking it super cautious now into every corner. Give myself plenty of room on the brakes. Easy on the gas coming out of the corners. Don't want to spin the car. Don't want to touch any walls. Nice and easy through there. Final time coming through the castle section. Navigated it without any headaches. Whew. I'm getting warm. It's only problem. I can't record this game with my aircon on, so I start to get very, very hot and sweaty playing this game. I'm sure everybody appreciates hearing that. Anyway, we're coming up to take first place in the feature race, which will give us a P8 start in the sprint race.
Nice work, that's P1. Race win. Well done.
Brilliant stuff from ART today. What a superb victory. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
I think they kept a cool head. That's why they won today. Smooth, steady, everything bad that happened to them, they handled it calmly and professionally. That's what let them focus on getting the best out everything else. The car, the strategy, they managed to keep out of trouble the whole way around.
An amazing race today, and a very well-deserved one too. The team worked very hard to get exactly the right setup out of the F2 car. It works for them, and the results speak for themselves. ARTGP winners today. And now, let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Schumacher increases their championship lead. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
Nobuharu Matsushita is my favorite one. Today was amazing. He made so many overtakes.
And now a look at the team standings. ART have extended their lead over the championship. Meanwhile, Carlin move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. Goodbye for now then. But we really are just getting started. Make sure you join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Right, so that was the result of the feature race. Father and son, first and second. Very nice. So now we're going to go into the sprint race. Again, if I'm on the mediums, I don't need to stop.
we're back. For the second race, we've reversed the top 8 from yesterday, and everyone here is getting ready for what's shaping up to be a thrilling conclusion to the weekend. Alongside me today, I'm delighted to welcome back to the commentary box the 2012 GP2 champion, Davide Valsecchi. There looks to be a challenging race ahead of the drivers today, Davide. With that in mind, what are you looking out for today?
Well, Alex, I want to see how the drivers at the back of the grid are going to roll up. They'll need to make an impact in the early stages, and they're probably hoping for a bit of luck at the start. We may see some bold maneuvers out there today.
Yeah, probably from me.
Fantastic podium result at the last race. Let's see if we can do it again today.
Right, can we... Can't change my tyres, so I'm forced to start on the mediums. I can't go on to the softs. Right. Well, race time, folks. And we line up on the grid. Lights are on. Lights are out, and away we go. Decentish start. Carlin did not get away well in front of me, but I'm just going to take it very cautious through this corner. It's just let's have a look at that from a different angle. I was very cautious into the first turn, very cautious. Oh, bit of wheel banging. Carlin again. I don't know what it is about those Carlins. They are like magnetised. They're like magnetic. They just attract damage. They just attract damage. Good thing is, they've received it and I haven't. Although, we'll probably get a shot of the rear of the car at some point, which will probably show the side pod's looking a bit battered on that right hand side. Whoa. Just outbroke myself there a bit. No, actually the side pods don't look too bad. No, side pods look fine. So let's get after these guys now then. Come on. Of course, we won't get the benefits of DRS for a couple of laps. Kind of need to just pace myself a little bit. Is he going to try? Are we going to try and send one? We have, but he's made the switch back on us. He got the switch back. Let's go. We've got him this time. We made the overtake stick that time, we did. Full yellow car now in my mirrors. I mean, these overtakes will become a lot easier once we get DRS, because I can just wait and pick them off, then down the start and finish straight, and then into that second DRS zone. Oh, tried to make a move into that corner, wasn't really feasible. just taking it a bit steady through the castle section on these first few laps. Don't want to risk any wing damage. Like I say, I've got the car to be able to catch these guys on the straights, so I can just be a bit cautious through some of the sections. Now the long battle tussle down this start and finish straight now. Hands in the air. We're pushing. He's alongside me. There's banging. There's a bit of banging. Let's have a look at that. Rewind that back. So I'm on the inside. Now I'm going to try to squeeze him a little bit, but he drives into me. He's banged my front wheel. He's got the inside, give him room. Did he hit the corner there? Oh, he hit the curb. I thought he hit the barriers on the inside. But we've gone, that's one more car. If we can take a car a lap, if I can overtake one car a lap, we'll win this sprint race. We will. Although we've got the damage magnets of the Carlin in front of us. Whoa! Got a little bit wide there. Again, I'm just winding this up for a big overtake. Come on! We got the move done. We have got the DRS this time. Two cars, one straight. That'll do me. The three cars stand between us now. Again, I'll just back off a little bit through this section of the track because I don't want to crash. You're not going to get any overtakes done down this back straight, so there's no point trying. You just want to make sure you're close enough. Through this next section of the circuit, when we start to ramp it up and come on to the start and finish straight. See, I've just had to lift a little bit there because I was a little bit too close to the guy in front of me. too far away to get the guy in the first corner. This guy's coming back at me in the mirror. But I'll always beat him under braking. I'll always brake later than them. Again, we just need to put a lovely move on that guy. We've got the DRS. So we've got the Arden car there. We didn't manage to get the guy in front of us. So we'll just follow him for the rest of this lap and then we'll take him down the start and finish straight. Ooh, very close to putting it in the wall there. I was. I think I got distracted. I got distracted at that point because Jeff suddenly come on the radio and told me I needed to box this lap. Even though it's a sprint race and we don't pit in a sprint race. So that kind of confused me. He's telling me we need to change the strategy and everything and I'm like, why? I'm P2. I'm about to take P1 with a Danny Rick style overtake into the first corner. And I'm quite happy with the way the race is going. Not hit anybody, I've not got any damage. So I don't quite understand why Jeff feels the need to contact me in the middle of as I'm in the braking zone for a corner to tell me that I need to box this lap and change strategy. That didn't seem to make any sense to me. I mean, we've got first place now, so now I'm just going to ramp it up. You know, I'll start setting a couple of fastest laps of the race and we'll be cruising on into the finish line. Again, now I'm at the front of the grid. It's just a procession at this point. There isn't going to be any drama unless I make it for myself by driving like an idiot. But I'm fairly controlled on this track. Giving the corners a lot of respect as far as braking goes. Especially some of these corners at the end of the lap where I'm braking quite early for them. I'm using my speed advantage when I do have it, like now, through these corners, down this start and finish straight. Very experienced head on Michael Schumacher's shoulders, although it might be a little bit wobbly and prone to falling off. But hey. We go. So that looks to me like I've probably wrapped up and secured victory number 2 at Bahrain. I've done a complete sweep of the Azerbaijan. No, sorry, not Bahrain. What am I talking about? Bahrain. The Azerbaijan weekend. I was fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying. I've won the feature race, and barring any dramas in this, in the last couple of laps, I've won the sprint race too. So another great weekend for Michael Schumacher, and definitely well on the road to Formula 1 and possibly getting a contract with a team come the end of the season. And also, that's 2 races down, 2 race weekends down. There's only 10 left to go in the GP2 calendar, in the Formula 2 calendar. So short season, but it should be fun. last couple of laps. Focus, make sure we drive nice and clean. Not that you can really do much corner cutting or track limits here without feeling pain. Tyres are still looking good. Are getting slightly warm. Temperatures are okay. We're doing alright, or at least I'm doing alright. Did have a weird issue in the race. With the pit message thing, and every time I come past the pits there's still a blue line telling me that I should pit. I'm not sure why I need to pit. Started our penultimate lap, folks. Lap 10 of 11. We're in the lead. As far as I'm aware, everything on the car is good. Looking at the tyre wear there briefly, I think I made the mistake. I should have made the left tyres softer and made the right hand side tyres harder. Although the rear ones are okay, but the front right definitely is more worn than the front left. Which means when I was doing the tyre pressures in the car setup for practice, I think I moved the tyre pressure the wrong way on the right tyres. Which is all new, of course, because in previous Formula 1 games, you couldn't
Alright, so we've been
change
looking at the damage,
individual
and
tyre
we think
pressure.
you should be okay to continue. It'll cost us a little bit of time, but we're nearly at the end of the race.
Only the axle pressures. But now you can set the tyre pressures at all four tyres individually, which means you can actually balance out tyre wear a bit better in this year's game. However, like I say, you need to play around and experiment a bit more with that, because it would seem from first glance that I've moved that the wrong way. See, now I could understand there being a blue line telling me to pit, because I've just knocked the front wing off the car.
Final lap of the race.
I just knocked the front end plate off again, much like I did in the first race. Oversteered, understeered a little bit in the corner, ran wide, hit the wall. And this is my normal racing view for when I'm actually racing a game. You don't get to see this a lot of the time when I'm doing the replay shots and stuff, but this is my in-game camera view, my driving position. It's also how I have my HUD set up, HUD layout and everything. Obviously MFD I move to the middle of the screen. I also make it smaller this time round in this year's game. You can actually make all the HUD elements smaller, you can reduce the scale. It just declutters a bit of the screen. You can also turn off HUD elements. I've just knocked off the other front wing end plate now. So this car... Just take your time, Michael. You're going to win the race. Just take your time, son. We've probably actually balanced the car out a bit now by taking the left front wing end plate off. Anyway, coming up to the line. We'll take the checkered flag.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
I much enjoyed the sprint race a lot more than the feature race. Starting from 8th place, it gave me a chance to do a bit of racing. I like that.
Victory for ART then, after a quality performance. And I have to wonder, Davide Valsecchi, just what set them apart from the competition here.
What a race, Alex. Every so often we get a spectacle like we did today. Less focus on strategy and time management, and more on just pushing it to the limits and battling it out for those top positions. I think what we experienced today is evidence of why Formula 2 is continuing to draw into crowds, and expect today's race will definitely be turning a few more heads to the series.
ART, the French team who have been racing since the 90s in various forms of motorsport, are once again back on the winner's podium today after a brilliant display of driving skill.
I don't know why, but Michael Schumacher's face in this game looks a little bit like the Joker from the Batman animated series. Only the cockpit camera with the halo column on. Awesome. Points.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Schumacher increases their championship lead. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
Well, after a drive like that, it's got to be Nicolas Latifi. Very clean, very smooth. He can be really pleased with that one.
On to the teams then. ART have extended their lead over the championship. Meanwhile, Carlin move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. And after all that excitement, I think it's time for a lie down. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.